Hey y'all, it's your girl Ekelle, and welcome to my show. I love to do these little mini series here and there. So this one's about dating for artists specifically. If you're watching this, you're probably one of my followers, and I probably follow you back, and we're both artists. So I decided I wanted to do a little mini series and talk about how it is dating for artists. We're in some interesting corona times, and that's making it interesting for everybody right now, but specifically I want to know about artists. I want to know about you. You can see I'm wearing a top here. I don't know if I looked naked before, but yes, artists. So this video right now is going to be about the challenging things I've experienced dating as an artist. Number one is disbelief. So what I mean by that is, you're out here meeting people and they're like, what do you do? And the main thing you want to be known for is being an artist. So you say, I'm an artist. And they come at you with the, what does that mean? Have I seen you anything? Are you on TV? This, that. And, if you're an artist, it doesn't happen overnight. You got to put in a lot of work. You got to grind. Like, it's serious, So people, when they ask you that, they're really trying to find out, like, do you have money? And I get that. I get it. But why is there an assumption that we don't have money? Because depending on what kind of artist you are, myself being a recording artist, it's like, I got to go to the studio. The studio ain't free, okay? And in my experience, what has been free hasn't been of quality. So I am happy to go to my studio and pay for the quality that I'm receiving right now. I have a project coming out probably in the summer, and let me tell you, it's gonna be a fucking banger. I'm telling you. But yes. How do I afford this? I got a job. I have a full-time job. I work in digital marketing. But that's obviously not my passion, so that's not what I lead with. So people who assume artists don't have money or aren't financially secure, that's wrong, okay? Because, when you're out here looking for someone to date and somebody tells you maybe they're a med student, they're poor, okay? Maybe they have a rich family or something, but at the end of the day, they're not a doctor yet. They're a struggling med school student or maybe a law student. And most people are more inclined to go towards them because they're like, okay, I see the end of this. You're going to go do your tests, internships, whatever the case may be, and I know where you're going to end up. Which, I don't know, I wouldn't say that's always true, because in those fields you obviously need to work very hard as well. Like, to be a doctor or a lawyer or something else of that sort, there's obviously those entrance exams that you do have to take. There's money, there's all this stuff. And then obviously you have to do well in school. You have to do well in, I'm just going to call them practicums. You have to do well in your practicums, and you have to actually get hired, some people give up. Not everyone makes it out of that either. And I would compare those, just saying that with being an artist, it's the same amount of work in terms of years. Maybe you spend 10 years becoming a doctor or lawyer. You're probably going to spend that much time being an artist, is what I'm realizing and finding out. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that, doctors and lawyers, again, that's something that if it works out as a nice solid end, and it works out, whereas being an artist isn't certain. But with either one of these work professions, if you work your ass off, you can do it. So stop judging this, okay, hater? Okay, it's time for my second point, and this is where I gotta sip some tea. Yeah, so my second point is other artists. So you might think that, I'm an artist. Nobody understands me. These non-artists just don't get it. I need to go date someone who's an artist. That makes sense, right? I thought that made sense, but it didn't. And most of my dealings with other artists, they've never worked out. A lot of them have never really gone past the talking stages. And here's why. Because like I mentioned with my first point, being an artist, no matter what sort of art you pursue, is a lot of fucking work, right? So if you're somebody who is out there, ambitious, doing your thing, improving, submitting, performing, showcasing, you've worked your butt off to get there. So when you meet somebody who is an artist too, and, they don't have a means of supporting their art, whether that's through art or through a non-art related job, doesn't matter. They don't have their art supported. They're not putting out art. they're just not really trying, right? There's like a power imbalance. I find when I talk to other people who are artists, specifically men who are into rap, they always have this envisioned outcome of being the Bonnie and Clyde, the Jay-Z and Beyonce, the power couple. And again, nice to picture that, but Jay-Z and Beyonce, again, work their butts off separately. I don't know too much about Jay-Z's history, but I know he came up off the streets and he was able to make so much of himself through rap. Beyonce, her family was about it from day one. She's all up in that Girls Time group on Star Search and all that shit, and she had that support and they helped her put in that work, and then they met each other, equals, who both put in that work and who were both like obviously very serious about the craft. They were in these great places. They got together and whew, y'all know the rest. So when you date another artist and they're not as serious about their craft when you are, and they get upset when you try to push them forward, this causes problems, and that's why that doesn't work out a lot of the time. To be an artist is to be very honest with yourself. Like, when you're first starting out, your work's not going to be amazing, but it's somewhere to start, and you need to be able to be that critic on yourself and be like, hey, you know what, this is not my best work, or what I put out 3 years ago isn't what I put out now, and it shouldn't be. You need to have evolution. You need to be getting better at what it is that you do to get where you want to be, okay? The biggest thing that I have to deal with personally is jealousy. Yeah, so whether I'm talking to someone who is an artist or not an artist, there's always jealousy. Just with the nature of my music and my online persona, it's sexy. I'm a human. I've had some sexy experiences. I've had some tough experiences. But I like being sexy. I like talking about sex in my music. I've lived a sexy life, whatever. But, if I'm with you, I'm with you. Like, it's, it should be clear. But I find that's an issue. Like, I'm out here with my photo shoots. Maybe sometimes I'm half naked, Maybe sometimes I'm just wearing a towel. Who knows? I got some suggestive lyrics, and that's fine. Like, whoever your partner is shouldn't feel ways towards that. If you have shows, they shouldn't be all like, oh, you're off the stage, just go right now. Oh, people were talking to you, I didn't like that. It's like, well, you can't, What did you think you signed up for in dating an artist? I thought of the fourth thing, and it's animosity. And that comes from the other artist. So this person is a bit more established, a little more further along in their career, and they just think they're the shit. And it's not okay. They do that thing where they want to like talk down a bit, like, oh, well, I'm here and, this is my show and it's about me. I can't really support you in that way because what about me? I'm the star. And it's like, no, okay? Like, no, nigga, no. Yeah, and instead of helping you out because you're in this relationship or partnership, they want it to be all about them, and they don't really uplift you or appreciate you in the way that they should. And I've experienced this. It's not fun. It's like, who the fuck do you think you are? You think, that I can't get on your level? I can. I'm trying. Busting my butt out here. So, like, you need to sit the fuck down. Or I will make you sit down. So those are just some things that I've dealt with. And some are valid. Some are just a little confusing. And I want to know, as an artist, what have you dealt with? What has made dating hard for you? What makes dating hard for you? And what do you wish people would do instead? Or how would you like them to treat you instead? Comment. And depending on how this goes, I'll make another vid.